Do you guys remember the viral video of the teenagers finding dead bodies in a suitcase while using a manifestation app? I feel like a majority of us that were on TikTok in 2020 definitely remember this. I was just thinking about this yesterday and I realized that probably a majority of the people that saw that video don't know the victim stories or what happened afterwards. It was the summer of 2020. We were already months into lockdown and TikTok just started to really blow up. And at the time, so was another app called Randonautica. I personally never downloaded this app, but from what I can tell, it's sort of like geocaching, like a scavenger hunt using coordinates. But with this app, Randonautica, you would manifest whatever you were looking for, and then the app would tell you where to go, and then you would find what you were manifesting to find. Videos at the time of people using the Randonautica app were going super viral. People were saying that they were manifesting to find money, and then the app would take them somewhere and they would find $20 on the ground. Or people would say in their videos that they were manifesting to find confidence, and then the app would take them to a bathroom mirror that had "You are beautiful" on it. It was that kind of thing. With some of the most viral videos showing people manifesting to find something paranormal, supernatural, or just creepy. How many of those videos were staged for views? I have no clue, but like at the time, just a lot of like scary, creepy Randonautica videos were going like super mega viral at the time. And then on June 19th, 2020, a group of teenagers from Seattle, Washington were using the Randonautica app to make their own video. They were allegedly manifesting finding money, and the app took them down by the water near Pike Place Market. And down by the water on the rocks, they found a suitcase. The group of teenagers are filming the entire thing for their TikTok video, and they're super excited that they actually found something. They were manifesting money, so they thought that maybe the suitcase was filled with cash or treasure, but as they got closer to the suitcase, they were hit with this terrible smell. One of the girls is using a stick to open up the suitcase, and inside the suitcase, there's a bunch of trash bags that are clearly filled with something, and there's just this terrible smell, and the teenagers are really starting to freak out, and they call 911. And when this video was posted, it went super viral. I saw it, I'm sure you saw it, and there was a lot of speculation that maybe this was just another staged, hoaxed Randonautica video, just hoping to get views, but that was sadly not the case. Inside of the suitcase and the surrounding area, they found two bodies, and those were the bodies of boyfriend and girlfriend 35-year-old Jessica Lewis and 27-year-old Austin Wenner, who was more better known as the nickname Cash or Cash Money. Jessica and Austin had been dating for about 8 years, and they had an incredibly close bond. Austin had a son. He was very loyal. He loved family. He loved music and the outdoors, and he really loved his girlfriend Jessica. Jessica was a loving, bubbly mom of 4 children. She was incredibly hardworking and selfless. She was actually working at an assisted living facility for adults with disabilities, which just really shows what a big heart Jessica had. Jessica and Austin were both shot and dismembered. Austin was shot 1 time and Jessica was shot 7 times. Jessica and Austin were living together at the time. They were actually renting a room in this guy's house. So when no one heard from either of them for a while, their family went over to this guy's house that they were renting the room at, and they went to speak with their landlord, this guy Mike Dudley, and he told the family that Jessica and Austin just took off and he had no idea where they were. This was very strange because family members noticed that in an outside trash can outside of Mike Dudley's house were a bunch of Austin's belongings and clothes. Really early on in their disappearance, and then after their bodies were found, their murder, a lot of people were suspicious of Jessica and Austin's landlord, Mike Dudley. It was no secret that they did not get along. This landlord, Mike Dudley, was charging during the 2020 lockdowns Jessica and Austin $1,500 to rent out 1 bedroom in his house. And allegedly, sometimes Jessica and Austin were late on rent, and this would cause big fights between them and their landlord, Mike. And a little look into this landlord's background showed some really horrifying things and a really disturbing past. Mike Dudley was a total creep. He had been charged with assault in the past. There were a ton of ex-girlfriends that accused him of abuse, and there were also allegations that he was involved in human trafficking. He also apparently had a history of harming and killing animals and people's pets. And then 2 years before Mike's tenants, Jessica and Austin, were murdered, his own daughter filed a restraining order against him and accused him of SAing her since she was 10 years old. So this guy is just clearly not a good guy. It was determined that Austin and Jessica were killed 10 days before their bodies were found, which would be June 9th. And on June 9th, neighbors reported hearing the sound of shots, followed by a man, likely Austin, screaming, "Don't do this, just let me go," followed by more shots. And neighbors that heard this called the police, and apparently police went out to the home of Mike, Jessica, and Austin, and then they left because no one answered the door. And as this was all coming out, a witness stepped forward with a truly terrifying story. 2 days after Jessica and Austin were killed, but before anyone knew that they were missing, before their bodies were found, their landlord, Mike, was already trying to rent out their room. He had an ad posted online and everything. And this woman responded to the ad and came to look at the room. The room that this woman came to look at was Jessica and Austin's room. She said in the room, she saw bullet holes in the walls and in the furniture. She saw blood and what looked like a dead body hidden under a pile of clothes, and there was even a bloody hand sticking out underneath the pile of clothing. And when this woman went to Mike, the guy that she was trying to rent this bedroom from, and said, "There looks like there might be a dead body in the room that I'm trying to rent," Mike told her to leave and come back later because he had to clean up. And why this woman didn't immediately go to the police, I cannot tell you. I even saw reports, even though not confirmed, that she actually rented the room from Mike after all that. And then 2 months after Jessica and Austin's bodies were discovered, the police got a search warrant for Mike Dudley's home. Not only did they find those bullet holes in the room that Jessica and Austin were renting, but they also found Austin's blood. They also found a weapon in Mike's truck that matched the murder weapon. It's also obvious to the investigators that the room that Austin and Jessica lived in had been recently deep cleaned and also recently repainted. And the following day, Michael Dudley was arrested at 62 years old for 2 counts of second-degree murder, and the motive is believed to be a dispute over the rent. He denied any involvement, but in April of 2023, he was found guilty and he was sentenced to 46 years in prison, and at his age, that will be a life sentence. I was thinking about this case yesterday and I realized that probably a large majority of people that saw that original viral video probably didn't actually know who Jessica and Austin really were. I'm really interested to hear all of your thoughts. Did you ever see that viral video? What were your thoughts on it if you did see it? Did you ever use the Randonautica app? Do you remember seeing all the Randonautica videos? Do you think the app actually worked, or do you think it's a weird coincidence that it led that group of teenagers to Jessica and Austin's bodies? One thing I do find really strange, like a really weird coincidence, is allegedly the group of teenagers were using the app to manifest finding money, and Austin was known for his nickname Cash Money. I'm extremely interested to hear all your thoughts and opinions on this case, but please, please, please remember to be respectful. The loved ones of Austin and Jessica have already been through so much, so while you're in the comment section, just remember that you don't know who else could be in the comment section. Someone that actually knew Austin and Jessica in real life could be there, so just please always remember to be respectful. I actually will not tolerate anything negative about Jessica and Austin in my comment section, so I'm just letting you know that now. But while you're in the comments, please let me know what case you want to be covered next. Thank you to everyone that suggested that we covered this case today, and I will see you guys all next time in my next video. Please be a good person to your fellow person.